Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Stop into Zollner Florida Beatrice for Truck Month. Check out 0% financing with approved credit on all F-150s excluding Raptor. Or save up to $11,000 off MSRP on select 2025 SDX and XLT models in stock. Check out many service specials as well. $20 rebate on the Works package or up to $50 off new brakes and rotors. Maverick, Ranger, Super Duty, F-150 or Bronco. It's Truck Month at Zollner Florida Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Fans, are you craving the ultimate game day experience? Red Zone Sports Bar and Grill has your front row seat to all the action. Dive into delicious wings, juicy burgers, and ice-cold drinks, all served up with TVs covering every inch of the wall, so you'll never miss a play. Rally your crew, cheer on your team, and take advantage of game night specials every week. Stop in for a Nebraska basketball game with a party of 4 or more and receive a free pitcher of beer. Red Zone Sports Bar and Grill, right by the Lincoln Airport at 3111 Northwest 12th Street.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra premium protein ideal for anyone wanting to look, feel, and perform their best. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. You've got used to one segment of Good Takes in the morning, but now there's a full show of Good Takes at night. Welcome into Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome in to Raff's Good Take on Sports, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. You guys are always welcome to join in as we have wrapped up, at least for today's programming of broadcasting, the calls for NSAA State Women's Basketball. We'll be back at it again first thing tomorrow morning, though. So you can join in 402-464-5685. Back to the local sports scene. Well, I guess we're still in it, but a little bit more broad than just girls' state basketball. Chris Raff, how's it going?
Going pretty good. What are the reports from the
apologies, Chris Raff. I'm going to ask you that again because I'm a knucklehead and had the site muted. So, Chris Raff, how's it going?
Greetings. Going pretty good. I was just asking you, what are the reports from the broadcasters doing the games? How's Nick's voice? How's Austin's voice?
Were you able to listen to the last one?
I was unable to listen to the last one. I've been listening during the days, but I haven't caught the evening ones. I have been watching Jersey Shore.
Raph, each their own. But Nick's starting to show the wear. You can start to hear it in his voice. It sounded good. The call wasn't bad by any means, but I can tell he's probably going to have to lean on some of the other guys, especially to get to the next week as well. But you know him; he'll drink some honey and tea or whatever method he has, and he always figures out a way to make it through the entire thing. So I'm not worried about him, but I do know that you're starting to hear the wear and tear a little bit. However, we got guys in the bullpen. We got Tristan, who's been calling games for us, Austin Orman, Jade Foreman, of course. So he's got some help to lean on when the voice starts wearing down.
I was checking out the schedule for tomorrow. There's some really good games going on tomorrow. I like my Malcolm Clippers because one of my buddies, Jonathan Hunt's an assistant coach for them. So I like my Clippers. And then of course we got the 5 or the 6 o'clock game, Norris and Gretna East. We got Landry Gates, who's Jay Gates' daughter, who Jay's been on the show several times, have been at 93.7 the ticket several times. So those are some games of interest definitely for me tomorrow. So it should be another exciting day of basketball on the ticket.
Yeah, I tell you what, my new horse has been, I'm just going for Pius X. Let them go all the way and win it. My Cedar Catholic Trojans, Raff, usually a tournament classic. A men or women didn't quite make it this year. So I have to find a new team to latch on to. But I'll root for Pius because shout out Terry Cottle. He used to be the principal at Cedar Catholic. And then when we graduated, he actually followed to Lincoln soon after, and he was the principal for Pius X for a while. And then he no longer is now. I can tell you what he's up to. But I got a couple ties there. He did, was principal for my school and then Lincoln Pius X. So now I'm looking forward to them making a run here. But there's been some really great games. Yesterday was full of them. Today, not so much. Maybe some more lopsided games, but nonetheless, still great performances. And it's always cool. You see the entire community for some of these smaller towns. When they come up here, it's like there's all 200 of the town right here in the arena.
Well, I heard some people talking about Kearney and like the whole town being here with they had such a large crowd. But people, if you've not been to Kearney lately, Kearney is a growing metropolis. The what is it? The Jonas family, the Jonas, whatever their last name is. I mean, they have single-handedly made Kearney into like a metropolis with all the new things they're building there. I know they have like the Top Golf knockoff. Like now when you drive down the interstate, you can see it sitting there. So if you've not been to Kearney for a while, I'm telling you what, it is definitely the gem of central Nebraska.
Yeah, I don't know. I know the exact tweet you're referring to, and I don't know who came up with the caption, but I don't think they realized like how big Kearney was.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, because like I was like, you read the tweet and it was like, yeah, I mean, kinda. That's you're really kind of downsizing the actual population of Kearney there. If you're gonna say, wow, the whole town of in the arena, like, well, not quite, maybe 1/100th of the crowds in there, but at best.
Yeah, I saw that and I was just like, what? I was like, Kearney, like I said, it's growing. I mean, it's that trust me, that crowd that was there today did not affect, the people that were back in town there, because it's a growing town, and you got UNK there, Coach Held with leading the football team. So I love going to Kearney. It's one of my favorite spots in Nebraska to go to. So
it's a nice spot when you feel like you're heading in a very desolate direction. At least you got Kearney there to kind of brace you. Because once you get past Kearney, it really does start to get desolate. And anybody who's made the road trip driving out to Colorado or anywhere on the West Coast, you head west from this part, or any part of Nebraska. You start going west, it's a slog. There's not a lot to look at least with Kearney. It's a nice little pit stop that you can check out along the way there. But yeah, I can't say I've been there. I need to go more though, because it has been a while. My brother Houston graduated from the University of Kearney, and he loved it. He thought Kearney was a great town. Loved his college experience, I know, as well. But I can't say I don't even know if I've ever sat down at a restaurant in Kearney. I need to go check it out.
You're missing out. If anybody out there needs any Kearney recommendations, feel free to message me. I can recommend several great places in Kearney. It's like I said, it's the gem of central Nebraska. I very fond of Kearney. It's nice. I like it.
Go Lopes. Oh, one of our very own Rico was a graduate there as well. And we've had plenty of athletes that have had stints down there at Kearney, and then maybe transferred, or they'll still on the Kearney roster, and they'll come down here to say what's up on the radio signals. But Chris, Raff, What's got any more Carney trivia you want to drop on me?
Carney trivia. Let me think here. Yeah, I think that's all I got.
Who's a Nebraska great athlete? Do we have any that come from Carney?
From Carney?
Yeah.
2-4-6-4-5-6-8-5. Heinrich Harburg.
Yeah. He is great. I'm not gonna bat an eye at that.
Who else is from Carney? Oh, the old baseball player. He's now like one of the hitting instructors in the major leagues. I forgot his last name. Had the big hit like 2 years ago. He was an outfielder. Oh, why am I? Hang on. I'm gonna.
I'm trying to. I'm looking up.
Once I see the last name, I'll know. Oh no.
Kobe Whistle, track athlete. He graduated from Carney.
People listen. Who else? Who's that?
Richie Ross. That's
Oh, Richie Ross actually played football for me. I coached him.
No way. Okay. Well, there's no okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he was one heck of a good receiver. Amon
Green wasn't from Carney, right?
No, AG's from Omaha.
Okay, yeah. This article's got it wrong then. This article has Amon Green. It's like I don't think
Amon Green from Carney. Man, I cannot find it. Oh, I'm such a
Well, while you're looking that up, more Carney stuff. Don says getting a drink at the Elephant Eye. I'm assuming that's a bar in Carney.
Oh, yeah, that's in the hotel, I believe. It used to be the Holiday Inn Holidome several years back. Correct. Now I don't know what the name. So this was it's like in the ceiling. Like you walk upstairs and it's like the ceiling of the Holidome.
That's awesome.
So
Great name.
I remember that when I was a little kid. So, but you definitely Cunningham's on the lake. I'm telling you what, if you're driving down the interstate, stop there. I know there's no free shout outs, but they're in Kearney. So
not fair enough. I think we can shout them out. Our radio signal doesn't go to Kearney, although if they're good listeners, they'll just have the Ticket app anyways. And they'll listen wherever they may go. But yeah, I just need to go. I need to go on like just a Nebraska tour because growing up from a small town, every time we get to this year with March and not just March Madness, but the NSAA state playoffs, I always think about all these small towns that I haven't been to yet because I'd like to think I know Nebraska really well, but every now and then there's some school, usually from Western Nebraska, and I don't know a damn thing about them. And it's like my first time seeing their colors and everything. So about all I got. I'm just a little nostalgic for my sweet small towns. Shout out to Hartington.
Oh, Brett Wetton.
Oh, okay, yeah, we should have known that.
Yep. So, who else is? I love
Alvarez Clary.
Who's that?
Enrico Alvarez Clary.
Never heard of him.
Sorry, Rico. Didn't quite make Raff's cut for greatest athletes to come out of Kearney. But there's a lot more.
Rico was a hurdler machine. You hear his times and stuff.
Yeah, no, Rico was for anyone who like listened to the Ticket, Rico was actually a really damn good athlete. I didn't realize it. He would tell you himself, so I'll say it. He kind of let his athlete physique go by the time I started working at the Ticket. So I had no idea, but no, the dude was legit really, really good athlete over there at Kearney. But I think he had an opportunity to get a record for the university. I don't want to say it. I could be wrong on that.
Well, I know that he just, or what is it? Clester Johnson just has the record at Bellevue West, I believe. So Rico believes he could have beat that record or whatever. So he kind of has to live with that. But yeah, Rico was a machine. So that's a Kearney legend right there. Gosh, other Kearney legends.
Lincoln. Text line can always chime in if we're leaving people off the list there. I wasn't thinking we're going to get in the Kearney trivia. I know we got to shout out a legend who unfortunately passed away in a little bit here, but I did not want to leave anybody off the list.
Yeah, no, I have to think about it a little bit more. I'm sure someone, it stinks is.
Oh, Brett Maher. He's from Kearney High. Shout out Nick Wyman, who's listening.
Look at Nick Wyman just coming in clutch. I like that.
He's a fountain of knowledge. You'll learn that much. The guy's watching CFL during the offseason. He's locked into everything. I'm serious. He's got a CFL team. I don't know if he has any merch, but
does he have like the CFL Sunday ticket?
I don't know. That's a good question. I should ask.
You know what I love about the CFL is where they can score a point if they miss the field goal. But if it's, I mean, I love that rule. I don't understand it, but I love it. So you can miss the field goal as long as it goes through the end zone. It's a point, I believe. That's the rule. Nick might have to help with that, but I love that rule where you can miss the field goal to win the game and you're tied and you go for the game-winning kick. Just get it out of the end zone. You're good to go.
Yeah, there's that one clip that goes viral every single year because they stormed the field in Russia because they won. And everyone if you're not familiar with the CFL, you'll tune in and watch it and think, what the hell are they? The guy missed it wide right. But you get the point because he kicked it all the way through the back of the end zone despite missing it like wide left or whatever it may be. I don't necessarily love or hate any of the rules. I'm always just intrigued by it. There is a level of intrigue and mystique that comes around the CFL, but they are upping it. I know they're changing some rules, I believe, in this upcoming season, or maybe it's a couple years away.
I've heard rumors that they're moving the goalposts back. They're not.
They are doing it. American football.
Sad.
You really like it? I don't know if you have much of an interest you have in the CFL, but that one seems like that should have been done a long time ago.
Oh no, not at all. That's part of the CFL game. I love that where you can use the goalposts, on defense, and then if you're the quarterback, you've got to throw. You have to a lot if you're throwing like a post. You've got to make sure you throw it over the goalpost, under the goalpost. I mean, that's challenging. That right there. I
mean, it's challenging, but it seems so odd to have it in the middle. But hey, I'm just an American football watcher, so I'm not going to tell the CFL how to do their things, but they clearly went to America's way of doing it, where they're going to move that field goal post back behind the end zone. Like I said, I don't know if it's next year or if it's a little bit further away, but CFL is making some changes to kind of revamp their rules, make it, I'm not going to say more like American football, but there's certain changes that reflect that.
Yeah, no, I used to watch a lot of CFL back when I was a young kid. When it was on ESPN. I don't know if it still is on ESPN, or I think there's still some games maybe on, or who holds that contract. But I'll tell you what, there's a lot of great players that played in the CFL. I know we're like going everywhere here, but like, I mean, Warren Moon, Doug Flutie,
yep,
Damon Allen, Marcus Allen's brother. He was a heck of a quarterback up there. So yeah,
I think the CFL's always had really good talent and really good quarterbacks. Maybe more so back then. I'd have to double check, but I mean, it's still a really great league. There's certain rules around it where you have to have so many Canadians. You can't just have like a fully American roster. You got to hit a certain ratio. So that certainly limits opportunities for guys that don't make the cut to the NFL and maybe just miss the cut for the CFL as well. So it's always been a really good pool of talent, because if you are one of those Americans on the CFL, you're probably pretty damn good, because you're still one of the better athletes out of everyone who's not in the NFL. You still got to hit a certain threshold. You'd be an elite type of talent if they're going to pick you for that ratio out of any of the other, non-Canadians trying to make the cut.
Yeah, and I forgot the lineman. Oh, why am I forgetting his name? The nicest
Yoshi?
No, Yoshi, the nicest guy ever. What a great representation of Nebraska, and what he's done in the CFL, the career he's put together. I mean, he's like been there for 12 or 13 years now.
Honestly, he's going on year 14. Could be wrong.
Won a couple Grey Cups, won the lineman of the year. I had been around him a few times, but I think 3 years ago, we were lifting weights one day, and he came up and we started talking for a while. And just what a great dude. I mean, it was awesome talking to him and just, getting to meet him or whatever. So yeah,
he's been down on air on the radio station, and I've met him a couple of times. Really nice guy. I mean, I'll tell you what, if I'm the quarterback and that's my lineman, I feel pretty good right off the bat, because he's nice, but he does have a level of intensity to him. And he doesn't always let that part out, especially in just like normal casual conversations. But you get the competitive part out of him, and you'll kind of hear it in the tone of his voice. And it was cool because he, it was him and Nuri on air, because Nuri was getting ready for the NFL draft. And, there was a possibility that he knew, okay, chance I don't get drafted and I go to the CFL. And he ended up not getting drafted, but he did get I think it was a rookie training camp offer from the Saints, and that didn't work out. But now he's going to the CFL. And a lot of that, he had some plans and he was aware with it. And Yoshi, I know, is one of the guys that talked to Nuri a lot. So I think he's kind of been that bridge for a lot of Huskers that have wanted to make that transition or have the opportunity to. So he deserves a ton of credit because he's in the CFL, I don't know if he always gets the flowers, but he is one of the great athletes that came from Nebraska that always doesn't get talked about for what he's done in the pros because it's at the CFL. But I mean, I'll tell you what, that guy he could definitely, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he could have played in the NFL too. I don't know if he ever wanted to or why he stayed in the CFL forever. Maybe because the money was that good, but he was good enough to where I think he probably could have played NFL. I just don't know how often he tried to go back.
Yeah. You know who else played in the CFL?
Who?
Kenny Wilhite.
That's right. I did know that.
And it was crazy because he played when the CFL expanded into the United States. He played for the San Antonio team from the CFL.
So how many CFL teams did we have in the U.S.? Because we had a Baltimore CFL team too, correct?
I'm not sure. This would probably be a Nick Wyman question because I kind of was away from the game. I was more of the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, and I remember there was one CFL team they had the same, or was it the same city or the same name or something crazy like that. It was CFL got a little wild. Steve Taylor, he played in the CFL.
CFL has had some maneuvers in the past where they've tried to really take. Because I remember, I'm almost positive that Baltimore is one of the cities because it was after the Colts did the Baltimore Colts did the "we're not leaving. How dare you accuse me of that? Shame on you!" And in the middle of the night, load up the trucks and get the hell out of there before anyone can say or ask you anything. But then it was like shortly after, I want to say the CFL took to Baltimore as one of the cities where they would have a CFL team because they saw, like, obviously it's got a fan base that's really loving it. And I think they had some good success there. I couldn't tell you where it all fell apart, but the CFL used to be really trying to tap into the market, and they were getting into the America as well, finding cities in there. And while the NFL wasn't quite to its full strength and piecing it together, CFL was in that mix.
When the CFL, when it like kind of became a blip on my radar, when it began for me?
No idea. I was going to try to take a guess.
Vince Ferragamo, former Nebraska quarterback, played for the LA Rams, signed a contract with the Montreal Alouettes. And that was when CFL, because being a Nebraska fan, wanting to see how Vince Ferragamo would, do, in the CFL. And that's when I, really started watching a lot of CFL football because back in the day, you got to remember it was seriously ABC, CBS, NBC, ESPN, and TBS and WGN.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty much it for TV channel. I remember when ESPN was Channel 5. I mean, that's craziness.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up right when it happened. Like, you had your sports channels, and then like Animal Planet was always on one of the other channels.
We didn't have no Animal Planet. That was way too advanced back in the 80s.
You didn't get the classic.
We did have Australian rules football though on ESPN, which that was always some classic viewing also.
What is that, just rugby?
Kind of like rugby, but it had different rules than rugby. But that used to be some exciting, we used to watch a lot of Australian rules football. Listeners, if you can remember that, feel free to message in your favorite shows you watched on classic ESPN. I remember that NWO wrestling was on ESPN. So now it's kind of made its way, now that WWE's on ESPN, it's just kind of came full circle, I guess.
Well, let's get the full CFL report because we do got a guy, Nick Wyman, who's a big CFL fan. CBS Sports Network or CFL Plus. CFL Plus is free for American viewers. So CFL, it doesn't cost you a dime. And then the teams, it was the Baltimore Stallions. That was the CFL team. And then the Las Vegas Posse, the Memphis Mad Dogs. That was in 93, 95. So they're in Vegas as well, which I was not aware of.
And I think Kenny was in San Antonio, I believe. He played, I think he actually was all pro, I guess you'd call it all pro in CFL. Yeah, all pro for San Antonio, I believe, for like kick returns or punt returns, or I know he had a big season that year he played in San Antonio.
We got to throw the break here in a little bit here. I was just kind of smiling to myself because who would have thought, Raph? We had all these sports and all these things to talk about in days. And then we turned it into a 20-minute CFL segment.
Carney and CFL football. That is what, see, that's what happens on this show sometimes. We just tend to go off on a tangent. And I mean, if you can produce Carney and CFL football talk for 20, 25 minutes, that's what I'm talking about. That is good radio right there. I'm sure all the Carneyites listening right now are just like
beaming.
Wow, they're talking about our town, Carney.
Hey, apparently it's a great town that I had to go see more of. But yeah, I mean, the funny part is that wasn't even filler. I just generally got interested in the CFL. Like I did. Now that I know it's for free, I might need to start watching CFL.
Yeah.
Do you pick a CFL team? Is that the way to go? Do you have an NFL and a CFL team, or you just?
I was just thinking that. I was like, I'm not sure who my CFL team is because back in the day it was, Montreal because I liked Vince Ferragamo. But now
Ferragamo, it's the only signed jersey that I think my dad has because he was a Rams quarterback. And the only reason I know it's in the CFL because my dad was a big fan.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think. I don't know who my team would. Maybe the Edmonton Eskimos. I believe that's who Warren Moon played for. I believe it was Edmonton. I know that Steve Taylor's got some cool autograph some of his old CFL jerseys. Those are pretty cool to see. I'm trying to think. Was it the Winnipeg Blue Bombers?
Yeah,
some
Winnipeg
of these
Bombers
aren't even around probably anymore. I'm not even sure.
The
some
Blue
of these
Bombers still are.
Okay, good. Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Yeah, you had the BC Lions, Calgary Stampeders, Edmonton Elks, Saskatchewan Roughriders, Winnipeg Blue Bombers, Hamilton Tiger Cats, Montreal Alouettes. I don't know how to say that one. Thank you. I was like, oh man, I need to check my reading skills. Ottawa Red Blacks and the Toronto Argonauts.
Yep.
Sure.
So does Edmonton still got the Eskimos, or are they gone?
Edmonton's the Elks now.
Okay. That stinks.
Kind of lame rebranding. I think
like
the
Eskimos.
Yeah. It's a lot cooler. I think I thought there'd be more teams. A little bit surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I need to look into the CFL and find my team. I know back in the day I used to always look to see which old Broncos signed it in the CFL, and those would kind of be who I would support, or which old Huskers. Because remember, Turner Gill, he went and played in the CFL. Tommy Frazier, he played in the CFL.
Did Simmons ever have a stint with the CFL or no?
No, Ricky was USFL. Oh, now that's, you really want to get me talking. I love classic USFL. I mean, I'm telling you what, that I love me some classic USFL. Summer football was the best.
Yeah, and that's a whole. I mean, I know we got to go to break. Me and DP have gotten into that rabbit hole. It was an interesting time. I mean, when the NBA was forming and when the football was formed, when you had like two leagues kind of going at each other and both being really competitive, it was a lot of fun because they both had to like actually really try and push to make their league better and to make it more lucrative for the athletes. It kind of shaped how everything is now. So
have you
save that for another day and just make it like an entire hour out of it?
Oh yeah, definitely. I was going to ask you too. Have you watched Soul Power, the story of the American Basketball Association? You've got to watch it. It is so good, so good.
Is it like a documentary?
Yep, documentary about the ABA, and it's a lot of Julius, the Dr. Irving, and it's a lot of great ABA stories, and just the competition between the NBA and the ABA. Because I'll tell you what, if it's not for the ABA, I don't know if the NBA is around today.
Oh, ABA saved the NBA because the ABA was kind of doing the flashy, cool stuff, and the NBA was still like considered the old man. Well, maybe not old man, but the traditional, the right way to play basketball. And then it's just not as fun. Then go look at the ABA, and like you got guys like Dr. J, and he's doing things that are crazy. They bring in the 3-point shot. They changed the game of basketball in a lot of great ways. The only thing the NBA really failed to do when integrating the ABA was the basketball. The ABA basketball was classic. Yeah, it was such good. I don't know why. That's a nitpick thing, but I was always in love with the look of the ABA. But man, it was interesting. They essentially bet on themselves to not have the money and just act like they do and keep growing like they do and steal the NBA's best players. And there was teams where guys were traveling for like multiple weeks on buses and they didn't have a paycheck still. They're like 2 months into the season and they have no money.
When we throw it to break, when we come back, I think I need to tell one ABA story and then we can move on to our topic, because there's a story I got to tell that I saw. It's incredible. It is so wild and so crazy, but I can tell it when we come back if you want.
I like that. Let's do that, because I love me some ABA stories. So we'll talk about that on this side, as well as get in Raff's good take on sports. 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. We'll talk to you guys in just a little bit.
Spring storms happen, but LES line workers are ready. While they're out in the weather, you can stay inside and still lend a hand by reporting your outage at les.com/report.
Are you looking for a fresh new hangout spot? Let me tell you about Liquid Assets Sports Bar, where Mondays mean new weekly drink and food features. With 23 taps, a full lineup of cans and bottles, and 40 TVs blasting every sports package out there, you'll never worry about missing a play. Savor high-end spirits at their stylish top-shelf bar, enjoy a healthy menu, family-friendly atmosphere, and catch all of your favorite teams every day. Doors open daily at 11 a.m. Liquid Assets Sports Bar, located at 2755 Jamie Lane in South Lincoln.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first. Now is the time to get a glimpse into living and learning at Doane University through a personalized in-person or virtual visit. We know once you experience Doane, you'll see why it's a place where you can achieve your goals and shape your future. Schedule your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit.
There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate. There's no place like McKinney's Irish Pub for St. Patrick's Day, so mark your calendars to join in on the fun for their 12th annual Street Festival. The party goes all weekend long, but starts on March 14th and 15th with tons of giveaways, great Irish food, and green beer. And it continues on Tuesday the 17th for actual St. Patrick's Day. Doors open for the bar at 9 a.m. on Saturday, 11 a.m. on Sunday, and 9 a.m. on Tuesday. And the street party starts at 2 p.m. all 3 days. Don't miss out on great music and great fun with no cover charge for St. Patrick's Day weekend at McKinney's Irish Pub, located at 8th and P. Bagels & Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels & Joe. Where there's smoke, there's flavor, and there's plenty of it at the Smokehouse at Super Savor and Russ's Market. Award-winning old world recipes made in Lincoln since 1984 with many flavors of smoked sausage and brats to choose from. The Smokehouse has something special for every season: brats and sausages for the grill, beef sticks and beef jerky for snacking, and smoked salmon, smoked turkey, or smoked hams for your holiday feast. Stop by the Smokehouse at Super Savor and Russ's Market today to fulfill your search for real flavor.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Back to Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket. With all the good takes you need, here is your host, Chris Raff.
Welcome back in, wrapping things up. Raff's Good Take on Sports. We'll get to Raff's Good Take on life, but before then, let's get to the good old ABA story, Raff, that you hinted at before we threw the break.
Okay, so you've heard of Bobby Bonilla Day, correct?
Yes.
So where he gets paid like $1 million every year until like 2033. It's been going on for like 20 years now, something crazy like that. And they call that one of the greatest deals. But I'm going to tell you what the greatest deal in history ever was. So in the ABA, there were 7 teams. And when it came time for the ABA to close down and join the NBA had to buy out all the teams because there was a contract that linked all 7 teams together, so that they had to take them all or none of them.
Yep.
So the NBA came back and offered 2 of the teams. I think they took 5 teams in the NBA. Well, 2 of the teams, the Kentucky Colonels and the Spirit of St. Louis team, they came and they offered them a $3 million buyout. The Kentucky Colonels took the $3 million. The Spirit of St. Louis, amazing at the time. Instead of taking the $3 million, they made a deal that they would take 1/7 of the TV revenue. So up until, and this is forever. So as of 2014, they'd made $300 million. Well, in 2014, the NBA's like, they get this forever. This is going to get crazy. So they offered them another $500 million, and they took the $500 million. So instead of taking the $3 million from the NBA for the buyout, they ended up making $800 million off TV revenue.
That's incredible, and that is horrible oversight for whoever put that contract together. A lifetime deal?
Yes.
I don't care what you're doing, even if you don't think there's potential for it to get to that big. You don't put a lifetime deal on paper. That's worse than Chicago's parking meters being like a lifetime deal. I can't remember what it is, but like the city of Chicago doesn't make money off of like any of their parking because they somehow sold it overseas, like the rights for a crazy story there. But you see what happens when you make these long-term, lifetime contracts. When they blow up in a big way. They got lucky that they took the 500,000 and that they didn't just pass it on to, whoever their granddaughter is.
I kept on. While I was watching that, I was thinking to myself, did the Flint Tropics make that kind of deal also in semi-pro? And did Will Ferrell get? But I was laughing because I was just like, oh my goodness. So all the teams were fledgling, like they were losing money. The Kentucky Colonels were doing okay. But they were all losing money. They were going to all go broke. And here's Spirit of St. Louis owners, Ozzie and Daniel Silma, make that deal. So they went from probably going, they were going to lose the team. They weren't making any money to making $800 million. The greatest deal ever. I mean, it takes Bobby Bonilla Day out. And, it was, I heard that. I just started laughing. I was just like, that is insane.
I can't believe I've never heard that story before.
I
really wish he would have just like I wish he wouldn't have taken the 500 million and just been like, nope, we're gonna keep this deal forever, and my kids will have it, and their kids will have it, and their kids' kids will have it, and we're just gonna forever be cashing in. 1/7 of the TV dollar revenue. That's a massive chunk of change, and you get that every single year. Man, I really wish they would have held on to it just to be a forever life lesson on lifetime contracts and why you never do it. Well, I guess if there's no end date, I don't know if it ends with just them or if they pass away, they can hand it on to the next generation. But either way, that's a hell of a deal to make that much money. Especially to your point, the ABA, they were all losing money. which again, why it's such a fascinating story. The game plan was like, we'll just keep going, even though we don't have the money to operate. If we keep pushing, eventually the NBA, regardless of if they find out or that we do or don't have the money, they're going to cave because we're taking away too much from them. We just ought to do a whole history hour one of these days and go back and to the USFL and then the ABA and all, even just the teams. I miss a lot of those teams. And also, final update I got for you on the CFL, and then we'll get to Raff's good take. They are no longer called the Edmonton Eskimos. They're called the Elks because, according to Nick Wyman, he said it's essentially what the Redskins were for us in America, where they took offense in Edmonton and changed the name. So apparently Eskimo's offensive up there in Canada. So don't be saying that if you're ever in Edmonton.
I wonder if you're an elk. Maybe they take offense.
Well, they can't speak, so they get away. They get away with it.
No, gotcha.
That's all I had. I wanted to point that out because it's like it didn't make any sense either. But there you go.
I figured that's probably what it was, but I was just like, I mean, Eskimos. I mean, I've never heard anybody take offense to Eskimos, but maybe in Canada, Eskimos mean something different.
That's
I've always been like
surprised by. I didn't ever think of that as being an issue.
So always, I'm going to build an igloo and be an Eskimo. I've been saying that since I was 5 years old.
Not in Edmonton. You won't.
Yeah. So now I want to build an igloo and be an elk. So the elk are out. That's not going to be my favorite team. So the elk are out of the CFL for my running. So I'm gonna have
to figure out which team Nuri Nuili is on, and then I'll go pick that team to root for. So I forgot that's a guy I can easily get behind and go root for. But Raff, we're coming up to the end of the show. What is your good take for March 5th, 2026?
Okay, so this Raff's good take tonight goes out to the Girls United Flag Football League. I got this message from former Nebraska tight end Troy Hasselbrook tonight on March 8th. So that would be, is that Saturday?
I believe so. Yeah, that is going to be Sunday, actually.
Yeah, on Sunday at 1 o'clock in Gretna at 2333 Patton Street. They're having a Bags and Flags cornhole tournament to support girls flag football. If you are a bag thrower and you would like to get in this tournament, you can text Dale Beavers at 402-881-2791 and give them your team name, and you can pay the $50 at the door. Check-in is at 12 o'clock, and you can support girls flag football. So I told Troy that I would get this mentioned. So Girls United Flag Football, you guys are Raff's good take.
Love it. I won't take the attention away from him. Go ahead, definitely check it out. What'd you say? It's only a $50 entry to make a team.
$50 entry, and you're supporting girls flag football. So it's taking over the state. So
there you have it. We'll actually have a flag football coach from the university on tomorrow, 12:15 to 1:15 p.m. in between our NSAA state basketball coverage. So we'll also be indulging in. He might even shout out that event himself. I'll be curious to hear about it, but appreciate it. Everybody listening. This has been Raff's Good Take on Sports. 93.7 The Ticket. The Morning Piersonell coming up next.